Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, including news that BNZ has put the large construction division of Mainzeal into receivership. Apparently owed the bank $20 million and was unable to make a $1.8 million payment when it fell due. Mainzeal is New Zealand's third largest commercial construction company and employs about 400 people directly, plus many hundreds of subcontractors. It had recently moved into a new head office in Auckland and is Vero's preferred contractor in the Canterbury quake rebuild. It had been caught up in some big projects that required major remediation, including some big leaky buildings with much work ongoing, and the troubled Vector Arena. It is part of the privately held Regina Group, which has put major effort into its Chinese focus. The rest of the Regina companies are not affected by the Mainzeal receivership. We have a news page that is being updated regularly as they come to hand. The Prime Minister is expected to comment shortly after 9 on the implications. Staying in New Zealand, the Fonterra Global Dairy Trade auction was pretty positive yesterday. Prices are up 2.4% from the previous auction in US dollar terms and up 1.7% in New Zealand dollar terms, despite the high currency. They're up 3.8% year on year in US terms and 1.4% in New Zealand dollar terms. Prices have been rising steadily since the middle of last year. Overseas, the Royal Bank of Scotland was fined almost $750 million by US and UK authorities for manipulating the benchmark Libor interest rates via its Japanese subsidiary. And it says it plans to claw back $750 of the money from bonuses and awards already paid out to the firm's employees. That'll be fun to watch. More fun than another unsatisfactory fine rather than a criminal conviction. Meanwhile, Deutsche Bank has suspended 5 traders in its internal probe over a similar manipulation. The US Federal Reserve has confirmed that information was stolen from its servers during a hack attack. The US Central Bank told Reuters it had fixed the vulnerability found in some third-party software it was using. In China, their central bank is worried about impending inflation. It said that monetary easing by countries like the US and Japan may push up commodity prices and make global capital flows more volatile. There are a couple of tough things that affect Australia overnight. China says its decade-long boom in coal buying for heavy industry is about to end as their new leadership shift priorities towards energy conservation. Coal is a major Aussie export, and it looks like Solid Energy was right to pull back here. Demand will soften significantly, it seems. And Australian retail sales unexpectedly fell for a third month in December, the longest stretch of declines in 13 years, as consumers spent less eating out amid deteriorating employment outlook. There were weak building approval numbers in Australia too. Their currency dropped, and we start the day at 81.7 Australian cents. Against the US dollar, we're at 84.3 US cents, and the TWI is still very high at 76.3. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.